Vegan agroforestry can solve climate change, sustainability problems, and finally assist in building a regenerative and nature-friendly civilization. How agroforestry can aid in climate change adaptation and defense. Our food systems and ecosystems are being severely harmed by the consequences of climate change. Agriculture productivity and food security are in threat due to rising temperatures, unpredictably changing weather patterns, an increase in pests, and an increase in illnesses. These problems may be resolved through agroforestry, which might encourage sustainable land use and aid in climate adaptation. We'll discuss the idea of agroforestry, its advantages, and its potential to increase climate change resistance in this video. What is agroforestry? The intentional mingling of trees and shrubs with domesticated animals and/or agricultural goods is known as agroforestry. It is feasible to increase crop yields, soil fertility, biodiversity, and water quality. Agroforestry can help lessen the consequences of climate change by absorbing carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. There are many different agroforestry systems, each with special benefits. Typical examples include alley cropping. Trees are positioned in this method between rows of crops. The shade provided by the trees benefits the crops, reducing water stress and boosting yields. The trees also serve as a home for beneficial insects and birds, which may help decrease pests and diseases. Fallow enrichment. This method involves keeping bare ground for a period so that trees and shrubs can grow during that time. Crops grown in the fallow field may gain from the enhanced soil fertility and water penetration offered by the trees and shrubs after the trees and shrubs have been harvested. Windbreaks. To protect crops from the wind, these tree rows were planted. Riparian buffers. Along streams and rivers, trees and other vegetation have been planted in an effort to maintain the cleanliness of the water. The advantages of plant-based diets and agroforestry. There is a wealth of knowledge on different diets, such as lactose-free, high-protein, and healthy diets. Contrarily, a plant-based diet is unquestionably good for your body and the environment. The vegan community joins together on November 1st to celebrate World Vegan Day and the benefits of leading a vegan diet. Some diets are preferable to others in many ways, despite the fact that our eating habits and what we consume are very personalized. One of them is to adopt a vegan diet. The idea that eating more plant-based meals might benefit the environment appears counterintuitive. But it is true. According to studies, reducing the use of animal products may boost global food supply by 49% without requiring more land. Additionally, plant-based diets significantly reduce waste and carbon emissions. What is a plant-based diet? An eating style that is largely plant-based implies the consumption of food of a plant origin. This includes grains, seeds, nuts, oils, legumes, and regular fruits and vegetables. Although a plant-based diet and a vegan or vegetarian diet have many similarities, they are not the same. In contrast to a vegetarian diet, which limits the use of meat, poultry, fish, and shellfish, a plant-based diet forgoes all animal products. To be vegan, one must refrain from consuming and using any goods made of animal products, including leather. You pick more food in general when you consume mostly from plant sources. All the nutrients you need will be present in the right amounts, and a diet rich in plant-based foods is often richer in fiber and phytonutrients. Due to the fact that many foreign cuisines are already mainly plant-based, beginners have access to a wealth of information. The Mediterranean diet may lower your risk of heart disease, diabetes, and possibly some forms of cancer, according to a study. Plant-based foods are given a lot of focus in this diet. The magic of agroforestry is superior to conventional agricultural methods in many ways because it makes use of the forces of nature. The sustainable land use strategy benefits the environment, the local population, and agricultural productivity in a number of ways by incorporating trees with crops. Here are a few advantages, including a reduction in global warming, the promotion of biodiversity, and an improvement in food security. Carbon sequestration due to trees' ability to trap and store carbon in their biomass in soils. Agroforestry techniques lower atmospheric carbon dioxide. By taking carbon dioxide from the atmosphere and storing it in their trunks, branches, leaves, and roots, trees play a crucial part in the carbon cycle. The type of tree, its age, its size, and the environment in which it develops are some of the variables that affect how much carbon a tree can store. A mature tree can typically absorb 48 pounds of carbon dioxide each year. This implies that a single tree might accumulate around a ton of carbon dioxide over the course of its lifetime. Trees enhance air quality in addition to offering shade and absorbing pollutants. They assist the water cycle and serve as habitat for wildlife. In actuality, one of the largest carbon sinks in the world is the forest. They play a crucial part in preventing climate change and store approximately 25% of the carbon on the planet. According to the study, agroforestry systems tend to store more carbon since they are predicted to use growth resources like light, water, etc. more effectively. What are the benefits of a plant-based diet for humans? A plant-based diet has been praised for its many health benefits, not the least of which is a lower risk of sickness, less saturated fats, better heart health. Meat contains saturated fat, which, if ingested in excess, can lead to heart issues. In fact, a 2019 study found that adopting a plant-based diet may reduce your risk of cardiovascular disease by 16% and your chance of dying from it by 31%. It's crucial to remember, though, that you may do this without just giving up meat by choosing healthful plant-based meals. This does not suggest that a daily steak should be replaced with a bowl of highly processed cereal. Eat a lot of whole grains, fruits, veggies, healthy fats, and legumes to achieve this goal. Maintain mental acuity for a very long period. It has been demonstrated that eating just plants can decrease the progression of Alzheimer's disease. This is probably due to the abundance of polyphenols in fruits, whole grains, and vegetables, the holy trinity of a plant-based diet, which may slow down or even stop the aging process of the brain. With another significant benefit, a plant-based diet may significantly reduce the risk of mortality from all causes by 25%. The durability of the barrier is also increased over time by continuing a plant-based diet. Improved soil health and erosion control. Agroforestry systems are a useful tool for reducing the negative effects of climate change since they have a big influence on soil health and erosion management. Incorporating trees into agricultural landscapes benefits the soil in a number of ways, including, the main benefit of having trees is the increase in the amount of organic matter in the soil, which enhances its structure, nutrient availability, and water-holding capacity. The increased microbial activity and improved nutrient cycling caused by the higher organic matter content encourage plant development. In agroforestry systems, trees are essential for reducing soil erosion. Due to their extensive root systems, soil erosion caused by wind or water is less likely. Trees provide natural weather protection by erecting a physical barrier, reducing the effects of heavy rainfall, and limiting excessive water flow. As a result, less topsoil is lost, which is better for maintaining the fertility and productivity of agricultural land. According to research, various agroforestry techniques can effectively reduce soil erosion and improve soil moisture retention. Alley cropping, for example, calls for the planting of rows of trees or shrubs next to crops in order to establish a system where the trees aid in preventing soil erosion while also offering other advantages like shade and windbreaks. Another popular agroforestry technique is contour planting, which is growing trees or hedges along contour lines to help slow down water flow and reduce erosion on sloping ground. What are the benefits of plant-based food for the environment? Even if only one person adopted a plant-based diet, it doesn't seem like anything would change. However, our human choices are part of the systemic changes that may slow climate change and keep global warming under control. Following are some benefits of a plant-based diet on the environment. The impacts of climate change are lessened. Meat products account for over 75% of the 30% of global greenhouse gas emissions connected to the food production sector. Adopting a vegetarian or vegan diet has been scientifically proven to considerably reduce greenhouse gas emissions. A greater food production with less use of land. Researchers at the UN's Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, IPCC, found that if we all collectively reduced our meat intake, more people could be fed on a less amount of land. The alarming amount of meat consumed by Western nations is taken into consideration in the study, especially in light of the existence of healthier and more ecologically friendly substitutes. A place where there are more forests. According to the Yale School of Forestry and Environmental Studies, current agricultural methods and land use pose a greater threat to the environment than climate change itself. To create room for animal husbandry, which consumes a disproportionately huge amount of land, many thick woods have been cleared. Even though it only produces 17% of the world's caloric intake, the cow business utilizes 77% of all agricultural land. Cattle, goats, and sheep raised for human consumption are the main cause of habitat loss and deforestation globally. One may stop many forests from becoming fallow land and cut the amount of land required for agriculture by 75% by eating more vegetables. Biodiversity conservation. Agroforestry systems play a crucial role in biodiversity conservation, offering a habitat for diverse plant and animal species within agricultural landscapes. Integrating trees alongside agricultural crops creates a mosaic of habitats, providing shelter, food, and nesting sites for various organisms. Research has consistently shown that agroforestry systems support higher species diversity than monoculture agricultural systems, which often lack the ecological complexity necessary for the survival of many species. Trees in agroforestry landscapes create important ecological corridors, allowing for the movement of wildlife and facilitating gene flow between populations. These corridors enhance connectivity between natural habitats, enabling species to disperse, find mates, and access resources. By providing a network of interconnected habitats, agroforestry systems support the resilience and long-term survival of native species. Furthermore, the diverse structure and composition of agroforestry systems attract a variety of organisms, from insects and birds to small mammals and amphibians. These diverse communities of flora and fauna contribute to ecosystem functioning, including pollination, pest control, and nutrient cycling. The presence of beneficial organisms, such as pollinators and predators, within agroforestry systems can also provide natural pest management, reducing the need for chemical inputs and promoting ecological balance. Water management and climate resilience. Agroforestry practices offer valuable benefits for water management and climate resilience, playing a crucial role in sustainable agriculture. By integrating trees within agricultural landscapes, agroforestry systems help regulate water availability, improve water infiltration, and enhance soil moisture retention. Trees in agroforestry systems provide shade, which helps reduce evaporation and maintain soil moisture. The tree canopy acts as a natural barrier, minimizing water loss from the soil surface and reducing the risk of water stress for crops. This increased water use efficiency is critical in regions prone to drought or with limited water resources. Agroforestry practices also contribute to climate resilience by mitigating the impacts of extreme weather events. The tree canopy serves as a buffer, reducing the intensity of rainfall and preventing soil erosion during heavy downpours. They minimize flooding risk and nutrient runoff from agricultural fields. In times of drought, agroforestry systems can provide water retention and supply, helping sustain crop growth and productivity. Scientific studies have demonstrated the effectiveness of agroforestry in water management and climate resilience. Research has shown that agroforestry systems exhibit higher water infiltration rates and improved soil moisture than conventional agricultural systems. This not only benefits crop production but also contributes to the overall health and resilience of the ecosystem. Enhanced agricultural productivity by integrating trees with crops. Agroforestry creates favorable microclimatic conditions that can positively impact crop growth and yield. The shade trees provide in agroforestry systems help moderate temperature extremes, reduce evaporation, and protect crops from excessive sunlight. Research has shown that this shading effect can increase photosynthetic efficiency and improve crop growth, ultimately resulting in higher yields and better crop quality. The diversity inherent in agroforestry systems contributes to pest and disease management. By combining different tree and crop species, agroforestry creates a more complex and resilient ecosystem. This diversity helps to disrupt pest life cycles, attract beneficial insects, and provide natural pest control, reducing the need for chemical inputs. As a result, agroforestry systems can contribute to sustainable agricultural production by reducing pest and disease pressures. How do plant-based diets support agroforestry? To feed a booming population and millions of hungry mouths, many forests have been converted into agro-industrial monocultures. Then these areas commonly turn into deserts as a result of bad farming methods, deforestation, or droughts. We see an increase in wastelands as a result, which further exacerbates the problems we already face. The problem has a well-researched solution: agroforestry. Growing trees with horticultural or agricultural crops on the same plot of land is known as agroforestry. It could boost an ecosystem's ability to provide food while boosting the worth of the land and biodiversity. It is a very adaptable strategy that strikes a balance between the requirement for food and the maintenance of natural ecosystems. So how may a plant-based diet facilitate this procedure? Vegetables are considered a food that conserves land since less agriculture is needed to produce them. A plant-based diet also lessens the requirement for land that is exclusively utilized to grow feed, livestock food. The New Scientist estimates that a global move to veganism may reduce the amount of land required for the production of feed by 21%. By giving up meat alone, 300 million hectares of pasture land may be preserved. One may enhance the forest canopy and generate enough food without the need for pastures or contribute to desertification by adopting a plant-based diet and agroforestry. Greater carbon storage, stable temperatures, natural habitats for flora and wildlife. and enhanced livelihoods for many populations are all advantages of increased forest cover. The best method for combining these two pressing requirements may turn out to be growing as much food on as little land as possible. Livelihood support and food security. Agroforestry practices are crucial for supporting livelihoods and preserving food security, especially in developing nations. These systems allow for the production of a variety of tree products, giving farmers a number of ways to make money. For instance, farmers in countries like Kenya employ agroforestry to cultivate fruit trees such as mangoes, avocados, and citrus fruits. These fruits are sold, generating regular income and enhancing the regional economy. It is essential to diversify revenue streams in agroforestry systems, especially in regions at danger from climatic issues. Farmers can lessen the consequences of adverse weather and crop failures by growing crops beside trees. For instance, some farmers in parts of India employ the agricultural method known as agroforestry to grow a range of trees, such as eucalyptus and teak, alongside more common crops like rice and wheat. By serving as a safety net against crop losses due to droughts or floods, this diversification offers a more steady income for farmers. Additionally, essential to boosting food security is agroforestry. Agroforestry methods lessen reliance on a single crop and increase tolerance to climate-related problems by combining many crops. Food crops like maize, beans, and vegetables are interplanted with trees like papaya in nations like Uganda. Crop and tree integration boosts agricultural output and guarantees that local people may access a variety of nutritious foods. According to studies, agroforestry has the potential to dramatically increase farmers' earnings, improve their resilience to climate change, and increase the availability of locally farmed food. Agroforestry's advantages. There are several advantages to agroforestry. Trees capture the energy of atmospheric carbon dioxide and store it in their roots and leaves, especially in agroforestry systems. Instead of annual commercial crops, which quickly wither and decompose and add to the industry's large environmental footprint, agroforestry relies on trees that survive for many years. So, compared to traditional, and even some regenerative, agricultural methods, agroforestry sequesters substantially more carbon. Agroforestry may help the nation's carbon emissions decline by up to 1/3 yearly, according to one research. An important strategy for raising food production and promoting economic growth is agroforestry. Agroforestry can increase agricultural yields by modifying local environmental factors such as temperature, fertilizer availability, soil quality, and water quality. Comparing alley cropping to traditional row crops can improve agricultural profitability. Alley cropping also protects crops from wind and temperature changes. Additionally, by adopting integrated agroforestry systems, farmers may increase the diversity of their crops and their income. Agroforestry practice expansion offers a chance to increase employment, particularly in rural areas. According to a recent World Resources Institute study, the federal government could sustain more than 49,500 employment by investing $1.8 billion in agroforestry annually. Agroforestry offers incredible potential for carbon storage, in addition to having other ecological and environmental advantages. Agroforestry improves water quality while reducing soil, organic carbon, and nutrient losses. For instance, by filtering agricultural runoff, riparian forest buffers might help reduce risky toxic algal blooms. These buffers provide fish and other organisms with better homes by providing shade and controlling water temperatures. a program that encourages farmers to cultivate natural vegetation rather than crops close to streams, resulted in summer water temperatures in Washington dropping by more than 10 degrees Fahrenheit, while spring-run Chinook salmon populations in the region made a remarkable recovery. Agroforestry has developed into a powerful instrument for better addressing the issues brought on by a changing climate. Agroforestry approaches combine plants, animals, and trees to give a number of benefits, such as improved soil health, carbon sequestration, biodiversity preservation, and improved livelihoods. The time is now to embrace agroforestry, a flexible and sustainable approach that might aid in our survival in a changing world. By working together, we can create resilient landscapes and guarantee a brighter future for future generations. Forests are suffering greatly as a result of the present problems with land usage across the world. The primary cause of deforestation is animal agriculture, the greatest system of land use in the world. Both humans and the ecosystem may benefit greatly from a plant-based diet. There is still a lot of dispute about it. Some people believe that plant-based diets pose an existential threat to conventional diets and rural economies that depend on farming and cattle. Despite rising evidence in favor of plant-based diets, there is fear that scientific research may lead to ideological changes that demand a fundamental reform of the food system. This is an extremely important change to take into account as we work to combat climate change and achieve global warming goals. The greatest means to support expanding people without further harming the environment may involve agroforestry and a rise in plant-based diets.